And welcome back to Salt Lake City. Halftime of Game 5, and there is nothing like a deciding game of any playoff series in the NBA, where you win and continue on to the next round, you lose, and your season is over. And the winner of this game will move on to the Western Conference semifinals against the Portland Trail Blazers. And right now, a tight game here in the lair of the Utah Jazz, the Delta Center. At halftime, the score, the Jazz 53 and the Sonics 49. Look at the statistics right now, and you can see where Utah outshot Seattle 56-40. Each team has missed only one free throw, but the Sonics have gone to the line more. Rebounding could be a big factor, and the turnover story as well. Hubie, we'd have to say that after a nervous start, this game has all the makings of really a fifth game. What do you draw from the stats?
Well, you look at Utah and you said they had to shoot better, 56%. They had to take care of the boards, a +7. Now, they're winning the battle of the paint by 10. But what's holding them back? The 10 turnovers, cost them 12 points. Seattle, excellent job. Only 4 turnovers. They've made 4 threes. But we said that Grant and Barry and Lewis must step up. Lewis got 14. Grant and Barry only 1 for 7. They must step up if Seattle's going to steal this game.
There's Malone, who scored 17. As you take a look at tonight's American Express leaderboard, Russell with 12, Stockton with 10, Payton has 16, Lewis, the 20-year-old, has 14 points. Third quarter underway, and this is where the Sonics have to beware, because in games 1 and 2, the Jazz really went out big in the third quarter, outscoring the Sonics by 12 in game 1 and by 10 in game 2. This has been their big quarter at home. Holiday misses the reverse hook shot.
Now, Seattle, excellent defense that time. Big thing with Seattle is they have tried to get as many easy baskets as you can. You ran the sideline after Utah scores, picked up 3 scores. So let's see you force some turnovers, execute that half-court offense.
The runner by Barry off the rim. Each team has had 1 possession here in the third quarter. Here is Hornacek firing from the corner, hitting. He's 2 for 9 at halftime, but starts out with the basket to give the Jazz a 55-49 lead.
Now, you've got to get to him. The guy shoots 49% for the year. He might have had a bad half, but you know he's not going to stop shooting, and they're going to open him up for beautiful perimeter attempts.
Vin Baker, the only player with 3 personal fouls, and he played a good deal with 3 fouls in the first half. Perimeter shot misses, and Stockton with the Jazz bringing it up. Stockton with 8 assists in the first half. Lewis at 6'10", staying with Hornacek. 8 on the clock.
Plenty of time.
The trap to Stockton, and Hornacek with a runner.
Now, they faked the screen and roll that time. On the flow of the defense, they just came right back to the top. And they caught Seattle in a bad rotation, allowing Hornacek to go right down the lane.
Payton posting up against Stockton. Grant goes back to him, and a holding foul will be called against John Stockton.
Good call. Yeah, he grabbed his arm, tried to prevent him from receiving that pass. Right now, this is a dangerous time for Seattle. Dangerous, because you do not want this lead to get up to 10, 12, 14.
Payton blanketed by Stockton with 5 on the shot clock, and nowhere to go with it, and turn around. Stockton with a great defensive job on Gary Payton. And Payton called for the foul on Stockton, and giving him a stare reminiscent of what Muhammad Ali gave Sonny Liston in their second fight in Lewiston, Maine.
As you know, neither player is going to get ruffled, no matter what.
Right.
No matter how much contact. You know Stockton isn't going to talk much. He talks a lot to the referees, but he's not going to talk to you. Gary can talk all he wants.
A lot of poker faces out there.
Oh, Stockton wide open in the corner.
Hornacek for 3. And Hornacek, trying to avoid playing his last game of his career, has scored 7 points on 3 for 3 shooting here in the third quarter. Timeout Seattle as the Jazz have opened up their largest lead of the game, 11.
Seattle has just broken down on their rotations on the baseline, Dick, by sending Stockton through, by sending Hornacek through. Now you got to see right here. Stockton came all the way from the right-hand corner, was wide open, could have forced the shot. Instead, he faked the shot, took it off into the middle, and then opened up Hornacek at the top.
And that little girl is Abigail Hornacek. Usually we see her like that with her head through the poster. She's adorable.
Look at this. There's so many choices. But what if you had none? That's a problem for many communities. Allen Iverson recognizes the need for choices.
Everything okay at home?
He works with an evening basketball program that offers neighborhood kids a positive place to go.
Hey, get up the court, get up the court, get up the court. Hey, go.
This gives them the opportunity to make the right choice. Team up to improve your community.
Hello?
What's going on, B?
Nothing. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Just watching the game, having a bud.
True, true.
What's up? What's up?
How'd you get courtside seats?
They're the kind of folks who take pride in taking care of their car, who'd rather take the time to save the money by doing the job themselves. In other words, they're the kind of people who turn to AutoZone every week. And while they come to us for the quality parts, for the everyday low price, sometimes they come just for the advice. And that's okay, because at AutoZone, giving people what they need is what we're all about.
Can I help you?
Yeah, 2 double deluxes, please.
You don't want that.
Excuse me?
Number 3.
You don't want that one either.
What do you mean we don't want that?
What do I want?
I want a chick witch.
No.
Just want a couple of cheeseburgers.
What can we have?
Some advice.
What?
Get back on the road and go to KFC.
Do you work here?
Trust me, what you want is a tender roast sandwich.
Tender roast?
Looking for big flavor? No one's got it like KFC. A huge breast filet, slow roasted till it's tender and juicy. At $1.99. Why wait?
Thanks, dude.
My work here is done.
Now keep an eye on John Stockton right here. He's going to make a pass right here to the top. He's going to go down and set a screen with Gilliam, but he's going to slip the screen. He's wide open right here. They miss him. He goes to the corner. Now once this ball is rotated to him over here, he's wide open. But keep an eye on this spot right here, because that's where Hornacek's going to get a shot. See, they fake it. He slips the screen, wide open. They miss him. Now, when the ball goes to the corner, he's open. But now you come back to the guy who's on a 3-for-3 roll.
And has scored all 7 points here in this third quarter. A 7-0 run by the Utah Jazz. And John Stockton now with 11 assists. That's what he's averaged in this series. Meanwhile, the foul called against Olden Polynice at the other end, his 3rd foul of the game. So Polynice with 3 and Vin Baker with 3. 5 on the shot clock. Polynice defending against Vin Baker with the turnaround. Grant trying to keep it alive, and Payton blocked by Brian Russell. Out to Lewis, however. Seattle getting another opportunity. They have yet to score here in the 3rd. And Rashard Lewis from the corner.
I tell you, this is a dangerous time in this building. This is where they put the spurt on you. Great move.
With a lay-in. And there is Payton ahead of the field. And Gary Payton scores with 3.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. The Sonics get their first points.
Yeah, Seattle must button up here right now. Hold Utah to 1 shot attempt. Try to get in here and force a couple of turnovers and get out in the open floor.
Remember, Utah has rolled over Seattle in the first 2 games of the series here at the Delta Center with big third quarter flurries. Polynice baseline against Baker. Olden Polynice.
Baker didn't even attempt to play him. I mean, you can't give him a hip and think that's going to get it done. He rolled right underneath, up and in. Don't assume. We realize that Polynice and Osatek have not scored any points in this series, but come on, he's still a professional.
7-point lead. The double Payton leaving Barry open for three. And there is the rebound and a 3-on-3 with Malone driving in. And now the outlet to Lewis.
Now Karl Malone upset. He thought that he got hipped. Right now you got an advantage. Somebody's wide open.
Baker against Polanyi on the other side, and Vin Baker works his way in. He's got 11.
Hey, Vin Baker, we know, must step up and show something in the post, Dick. But at the other end, he cannot be a sieve defensively just because he has 3 fouls. Come on. You've got to get in there and challenge. If your guy goes behind the backboard, pin him and keep him behind the backboard.
Brian Russell looking down low to Malone with the fall away. And a loose ball foul called against the Sonics as Polanyi knocked to the floor.
See, Grant right now is hot, Dick.
That'll be 4 against Baker.
See, Grant's hot because he thought that he was fouled before the first shot went up. Now, that right now, it's a major loss for Seattle because now they lose their post-up. The only guy who Utah is going to honor down in the post-up area right now will be Gary Payton.
Foster replaces him, but he is a spot-up shooter as a big man. Baker on the bench with 4 fouls and 11 points, weakening the Sonics. And there is Malone with Grant fronting him. And Malone on the pass from Stockton, the basket and the foul. And John Stockton now with his 12th assist of the game.
Okay, John Stockton took his time. That's great. Anytime that an excellent postman is fronted, allow the defense to clear out on the opposite side. See, Malone is just holding him there. Now look how Grant is holding on. Then lead him to the corner of the backboard because that cuts down the angle that the defense can rotate to. Beautiful pass.
Karl Malone now with 19 points. Cannot convert the three-point play. The Jazz up by 11 as they open up this 11-point lead on 3 occasions here in the third. Payton picked up by Malone on the switch. Grant to Lewis. Good Polanyi gets a piece of it. New clock for the Sonics. Rashard Lewis driving in against Holden Polanyi, who makes the defensive play and gets the rebound.
Now that was just a difficult angle for Lewis to make that shot. Malone came into the picture and forced him to change the release.
10 on the shot clock as the Jazz set it up again. Stockton uses a screen from Malone.
Post up Payton.
And the ball thrown away and the shot clock expired.
I was shocked mainly because Stockton had Karl Malone being played by Payton on that switch. As soon as he saw the big man on him, I thought he was going to back it out, create the angle, and post Payton on Malone right there. Boom.
Well, the Sonics have started out 4 of 18 to start the game. Now 2 of 11 here in this third quarter. So the first and third quarters have not been kind to them as Barry misses from the perimeter. Rashard Lewis fouled. And it gets hot and heavy inside as Malone trying to defend. And let's see who the foul is against. Malone has only 1 at the end of this first half, and he picks up his second.
Oh, and a technical. And a technical on Malone. He came out on Don Vaden and gave him a piece of his mind.
That's the 5th technical foul called against Karl Malone in this series. In what has been a series of technical fouls, there have been 11 called on both teams, including players and coaches, in this first-round matchup.
Well, he's on Don Vaden right now, and he's giving him some more lip. And, you know, you got to be careful here right now. This game is not over. We still have a quarter and a half to go. But how about this? Barry, an 81% foul shooter, cannot make a shot tonight. And he's had really open looks. And if you think about it, even in this quarter here, he's had 3 good looks at the basket, and he cannot knock it down. There's a lot of pressure on he and Grant to help out these other guys to score.
1 for 8 from the field for Barry, so he is struggling in the big 5th game.
He's He's got to keep shooting because he's had such a fantastic season. Plus, he's been shooting well in this series.
Lewis making 1 out of 2. Foster getting the rebound, but they're going to call the former Utah Jazz center for his 3rd personal foul on the loose ball situation. And the Sonics trailing by 10.
Can't lose focus now. The building is in an uproar. Utah taking their time, running their stuff meticulously. You cannot lose your focus.
There's Karl Malone working against Horace Grant. Russell forcing it up. And Barry knocking it away, but Polynice had an easy layup there, and there are 4 seconds on the shot clock for the Jazz.
Yeah, that shot did not hit the rim. Be careful of a back screen here now.
Shot clock down to 3. Jazz and the Sonics familiar rivals. This is the 4th series they played in the playoffs, and the fall away by Hornacek. The lead is 10 for Utah.
Well, we know that Seattle plays in spurts. They did it in the first half. They came out big, knocked in the threes, got out in the open floor.
Here's Foster from the corner with a 3. Greg Foster with a big 3-point basket.
Now, they needed that. And it's good to see because maybe Foster will loosen up and make a contribution, but they still need Grant and Barry to step up here.
Remember, Baker on the bench with 4 personal fouls as Brian Russell connects from the corner. He has 14 points, his first points of the second half. .45 remaining in the 3rd. It has been the Utah Jazz coming out strong here in this 3rd quarter, trying to wrap it up and win at home to wrap up the series at 5. And they're going to call Lewis or Russell for the foul. The crowd wanted Lewis for the offensive foul. Instead, Brian Russell's 3rd.
Yeah, just keep an eye on this. It looks like Russell. No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. He was late. From our angle, it looked a charge. But you could see on that replay from the baseline angle. Good call.
Shammond Williams, who scored 23 points in the first game of the series, 15 in the second as a starter, in there now at guard, along with Payton. Payton blocked. It was Brian Russell with the block. And Malone comes down with it. Isley in the corner. Open is Russell. Rebound by Malone. Russell drives and he scores.
They're just beating him to the ball at the offensive end. If there's anything loose or a missed shot, Utah, give them 5-star rating for their hustle right here in this 3rd quarter.
Here is Williams driving around Isley, pulling up, and the personal foul. So Howard Isley with the personal.
Williams in this series has played a half a game. He's averaging 12 points, and he's done an excellent job shooting 53% from the floor, and then in threes, 64%. Now, Paul has him in there because he has Isley or Stockton that he can match up with.
Shammond Williams, 2nd year from the University of North Carolina. Hit 4 of 6 3-pointers in the first game of this series. And in fact, after the first 2 games, was second to Payton in Seattle's scoring derby. Coming up next on TNT, Game 5, the Kings at the Lakers, followed by Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. 9-point lead for the Jazz. Stockton leaving it open for Malone. He's got it. Malone now with 21.
That was a beautiful read by Stockton. He caught Williams on the defensive side, faded, and then it set up that entire play.
3.5 to play in the 3rd. Jazz again by 11. Payton with a turnaround.
Payton is very quiet, Dick. Very quiet this quarter.
And the Jazz can open up their biggest lead. So once again, they're getting it done in the 3rd quarter. Here at home. Malone over Grant. And the biggest lead of the game established by the Jazz. 72 to 59 with 3 minutes remaining here in the 3rd.
Seattle's offense has left them right here. Nice pass.
And Ruben Patterson in the game.
Wasn't looking.
Losing that pass.
That should have been a layup. That should have been a catch dunk.
Isley off the screen from Malone. And Patterson with the rebound. You mentioned the poor shooting. Payton is only 1 of 5 here in the third quarter.
Well, you see, they cannot get out on the break, mainly because Utah's shooting such a high percentage.
Patterson, and the basket counts and a foul. So Ruben Patterson, who gave Paul Westphal a big spark off the bench in the first half, getting the basket and a timeout with 2:30 to play here in the third quarter.
Team up with Paramount Pictures MI2 as TNT and TBS invite you to enter the Choose Your Mission sweepstakes. Enter at NBA.com or at Finish Line stores. Winners get to pick 2 great NBA prizes. See Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2, May 24th.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
This month, let the women of the world put a little heat in your living room. With the hottest hits from Hollywood, playing on Direct Ticket.
This is my big break. This is Hollywood.
Passionate, playful, prophetic, and profound.
You are your own rainbow. Wow, that's really insightful.
A picture of perfection you'll definitely want to have around.
Do I know you?
Is that it? Is that your whole come online? You don't know her name, but she's fantastic.
I know.
So we do have something in common then, huh?
They've got beauty and brains.
I need a regular guy, not the guy on the Old Spice commercial.
It was right guard.
I was being metaphorical.
Style and grace.
Folks back home are never gonna believe this.
So many great women, all in one place.
Superstar! Superstar! Superstar!
This month on Direct Ticket pay-per-view.
NBA Playoffs 2000 on TNT. Brought to you by KFC. Want big flavor? Head up the road and try our tender roast sandwich. And by Pennzoil with Pure Base. So strong, you can see the difference.
The emotion of a 5th game of a playoff, a deciding game. And Malone and Payton, the 2 stars, and they're not the only ones. After that tremendous finish of game number 4. And all of the fevered pitch emotion of that one. The Utah Jazz taking hold here in the third quarter and leading by a score of 72-61. Karl Malone with 23 points, and he has yet to score fewer than 23 points in any one of the 5 games. The leading point maker for the Jazz and Gary Payton with 18, but a cold third quarter indeed for the Sonics. Ruben Patterson with the free throw, and the lead is 10.
Right now they give you that fake ball pressure in full court, Dick. We've only seen them go at it once, and it was for 30 seconds, and they had 3 turnovers.
Isley getting down low to Malone. 6 on the shot clock. Stockton off the front rim, Foster the rebound. Sonic shooting only 25%, as you saw on our graphic here in the third quarter. 2 minutes to play in the third.
Everything is like they're pulling teeth. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he can take him. He can take Paget.
Foster, who hit a 3 earlier in the quarter, cannot connect.
And the big thing is that they're shooting and missing, and they're not getting any second chance points. That's where we said they excelled in games 3 and 4 in Seattle, where they got the extra shot attempts, made them, and continue to keep their lead.
And there is Stockton with the lay-in, and I'll tell you, Olden Polynice is a big reason why the Sonics aren't getting second shots tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. You got to give it to the front line. Utah Jazz guys doing an excellent job. Everybody helping out on the glass.
Nearly a steal. 10 on the shot clock. Patterson driving by Paget, and he lays it in. Ruben Patterson now with the 11.
Yeah, see, he can take him any time that he catches Dick, turns and faces up. When he's laboring, he's down in the box area and he's allowing the double team guy to get to him. Just step off the lane a little bit, catch it, turn and face.
Malone feeding Polynice, going out to Isley with under a minute to go and 12 on the shot clock for the Jazz. Polynice turnaround, Olden Polynice with 8 points, and that doesn't tell half the story of what he's done.
Well, I like that. That was by design. You thought the ball was going to Malone, but they set that screen and then stepped Polynice right in front of the basket, looking for that pass all the way.
And a 12-point lead as Payton triple team Shammond Williams, and the basket counts in a foul. Isley got Shammond Williams, who banked it in off the glass, and a chance now for the Sonics to cut it to single digits.
Well, that's what you were looking for. You put Williams in the game for Barry. They're bringing Barry in right now for Gary Payton to give him a blow. Now, this is just a Hail Mary shot. You're lucky you bank it in. Not only that, you get to the foul line. But the reason why Williams came for Barry, Barry's struggling, and Williams has been shooting such a high percentage in the series.
Gary Payton sitting down for the first time in this game as Barry replaces him. Payton with 18 points, including 2 threes. And Horace Grant goes out, and Rashard Lewis comes in. So substitutions for both sides as Armin Gillian checks in for the Jazz. Shammond Williams with the 3-point play, and the lead is 9.
Basically, you're staying small to match up here. You do not want your 2 key guys, Grant and Payton, to pick up a silly foul. Plus, you're giving them a chance to rest. Plus, when the quarter ends, they'll get additional time here, and they'll be ready to go for the entire fourth quarter.
And remember, Baker's been on the bench with 4 fouls through a good part of this third quarter as well. 6 on the shot clock. Isley will fire a 3 and hit a big one. Howard Isley, and that is the 5th 3-pointer for the Jazz. Lewis for 3.
Yes!
Comes right back with it.
A young fella, he's on fire from 3-point range.
79-70, and the final shot of this third quarter. Rashard Lewis with 18 points and 3 threes, but Karl Malone with 23 points is the leading scorer in the game, and let us not forget John Stockton and 15 assists already. But the Utah Jazz extend their lead, and after 3 quarters, the score is 79-70.